Let's talk about manifesting your specific person. There is an easy way of thinking about this that makes it all so much more manageable. And I'm going to share it with you in this video. Whether you are manifesting an actual specific person, or maybe there is no specific person, but you are manifesting a relationship, the same thing applies. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on specific person. And I'm going to give you a formula that you can take and apply to your own specific situation. The situations and the stories and the beliefs that you're dealing with are going to be different, but the formula applies in every single case. So you are going to make this formula fit your situation and make it work for you. If you want more personalized guidance and help, please feel free to book a coaching session with me in the description box below so that we can work on your specific situation. I will be happy to help you. Otherwise, here is a formula that you simply can take and apply to your manifestations, and I will try to make it as literally as manageable as possible. So first things first, I highly suggest that you realize and remind yourself that the current version of your specific person is already a manifestation of yours. It's not something that just happened. Life is not against you, but the way they behave with you is already a manifestation. And something else that is important that is tied to this, I really again recommend you realize and remind yourself that your imagination actually shapes and manifests your reality. So if the current version is what your mind manifested, in order to change that, you still need to go inside your imagination and change the whole thing, or whatever needs changing. Not always. There's a lot, but sometimes there may be quite a few things to work with. Now, in reality, you don't have to believe that your mind is manifesting your reality in order to manifest, because a lot of people are doing it. Everyone manifests, whether they like it or not, whether they know it or not, and most people do it unknowingly. The reason I suggest that you make this a habit to actually believe in imagination, manifesting reality, is because if you don't, you more easily tend to give in to the old stories. And you don't keep up with your mental work, which is quite important because of what I'm actually about to say in this video. So the whole formula of manifestation is old story, which is current experience, versus new story, which is desired experience. That's basically it. What does it mean? It means that I am having this current experience. There are things that I don't like. What do I want instead? And what am I choosing? Every day I wake up, what do I choose? So it's either focusing on the current problems or it's focusing on the desired outcome. And it's always that. And sometimes it can feel like a battle in your mind, back and forth, and that's okay, it happens. So when I say it's helpful to actually believe that your imagination manifests, and you can use affirmations for that, you can literally wake up and affirm that my mind manifests my experience, everything that I experience is a manifestation of my imagination, everyone is me pushed out, my affirmations manifest in my reality, or however you want to put it. Because when that becomes solidified in your mind, and you wake up and you realize you have a problem, and your SP is either rejecting you or behaving in a way that you don't like, instead of taking that as facts, you remind yourself that that's a manifestation and that's an old story. And even if it's not in the 3D, it may be in your mind. You may have fears, you may have been rejected that keeps lingering in your mind. They said or did something that you wish they didn't, etc. All that is your current reality, old story, current story. So instead of giving into that, when you know you're manifesting, you will take that as, this is a story that I have believed in up until now, which I refuse to believe from now on. So what I do is I choose what I want instead. And this is where techniques come in. It's affirmations for some, visualizations, or other imaginal acts for other people. Do what you like to do. And this is also something that I always say, pick the method that you actually like to do so that you keep doing it. The reason this is important is when you already have a story and manifestation is basically replacing one story with another, replacing with one assumption or belief with another. That's all we're doing. If you don't persist, what happens is that your mind will go back to what it already knows. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. And it doesn't matter for your mind what it's manifesting. If it's an assumption, it's manifesting. Sometimes we can have assumptions that are not even logical if you think about it, but it's an assumption, so it becomes your experience. So therefore, it is important to persist. You have heard this word many times, and it's actually important to persist so that you end up changing that belief. And it's all about changing your own beliefs. You're not changing the other person. The other person is mirroring your assumptions. So whether you think that they don't want you, even if you think that because it has been your experience, but again, it has been your experience because of some assumptions. So it's a loop. Or you think they want you. Whenever that solidifies in your mind as a result of repetition, that has to manifest. And with specific people and manifesting romantic relationships, both your current and your desired outcome, they always have a lot to do with your self-concept. So you want to understand what's going on in your reality, or actually you have it right in front of you. What is your experience? And you will notice that there's a lot of self-concept in the sense of how it all makes you feel. But there may also be assumptions that are specific to the situation, specific to that person. Most of the times with clients, I have noticed that the problems that they're dealing with in the current relationship that they are manifesting is way older than the relationship itself. So this is why I always put focus on self-concept, because that manifests in this relationship, the previous relationship, the next one, in your job, with your friends, etc. The situations will be different, but the basic feeling state that it triggers will be the same. So try to think of it in a self-concept sense, but also there can be generic assumptions such as all men are like this, all women are like this, relationships always end up like this, or they always end up like this for me, or I always put myself in problems like this. What are you manifesting? And so your job is, again, always think of it, what I'm currently experiencing versus what I want. And where do you put your focus? Again, I have to say, with most clients that I have worked with this whole time that I have been coaching, a lot of people are very much focused on what they don't want, not on purpose, of course, and they don't notice it. It's only when they start doing the work that they notice that how much focus have I put on the negative, and now it's a habit. And that's why your mind always goes back to, or I can't have this person can't be different, the story. So just to recap, make sure to remind yourself that your mind is manifesting. You don't need anything other than your mind. You work with your mind. Manifestation is an inside job. And what do you want instead of the current experience? And start focusing on that. And again, it can be a lot of things. It can be self-concept. It can be a bunch of assumptions that you have that are manifesting stuff that you don't like. Start doing the work. And in the beginning, you may notice that there's so much to work with. And sometimes it feels to work against. But keep doing the work, because as you go, you will replace all these assumptions. And once they are replaced, this is the best thing about manifestation, that once an assumption is replaced, you don't have to keep assuming it, then it becomes an assumption on autopilot. You don't have to keep affirming it. Then it starts manifesting. You're done with that. Then yes, something else might come up. And I always get asked that, will I ever be done? Because I've changed this assumption. Now I'm dealing with this. Now I'm dealing with this. Keep doing the work, because at some point, when you have continuously worked on your mind, shaped your stories, and you will notice just in general how few limiting beliefs come up when you are manifesting something. Just in general. And you'll notice how few negative thoughts you have during the day compared to now. So this is why it's important to actually do the work. And again, in manifesting an SP is your current experience of them versus how do you want to experience that person? In what setting, in what kind of relationship, what kind of treatment do you want to receive? What kind of feeling do you want to have about yourself? What, etc. You fill in the blank. And then it's about choosing that over and over and over until it becomes a habit. Because remember that your current story is simply a habit. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like the truth, like the facts. But technically, it's a habit. You have a habit of thinking the current thoughts. Now, what you're doing is you're creating a new habit of thinking other thoughts, and that will shape your physical reality. How things will happen is not your job to figure out. It's not my job to figure out. Your subconscious knows. So if you need a more personalized guidance and help with your manifestations, just know that I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. I will be happy to help you. Have a beautiful day and see you on the next video.